Welcome back to another episode of Let's Pew Pew with Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo, and like the title said, this is episode 5. Since last we played this game, we're still in the same save file. I had a, well, let's just say I finally got my ship ready to be updated, left the hangar and jumped, and then got jumped by a couple of NPC craft. When I came out of frame shift, my... Uh-oh, we're gonna bang into something. Oh, back up, back up, back up. Sorry about that, folks. Anyhow, I shouldn't be flying and talking at the same time. Let's go forward. Oh my god, there's a lot of people coming in here today. Alright, so this game's getting a little bit busier as we're nearing the release of beta. In just, I think it's 14 days from today. Today's the 15th. And on the 29th, I believe, we go live with Beta 1. Anyhow, since we met last, I had a situation where I just made enough money to get updated to my first pulse laser that was on a gimbal mount. And as I left the hangar, I got interdicted by 2 unfriendlies. When I came out, I didn't realize, for some stupid reason, my ship went into silent running. And of course, when you're in silent running, all systems have to be turned off. Everything. Because you start building up heat at a rather rapid, well, very rapidly. And essentially, I blew up because I didn't realize I was in silent running. Since then, I've lost a ship at the end of this one because of silent running again. I don't know what's going on. There are things going on that makes me think that the implementation of the joystick mapping for the X55 might be off, or maybe potentially I have a short in my X55. I really don't know. Anyhow, we are leaving this hangar because I flew here because it said it was high tech, trying to find a second gimbal mounted pulse laser, and it didn't work out. This particular area did not have one, so we've jumped to Aurelis, I don't know how to say it, and we're going to Beagle 2 where we're going to get a gimbal mounted pulse laser. The reason for this is the gimbal mounted ones auto track, making it much easier for you to hit your target. I am having a blast playing this, and occasionally I guess I get into multiplayer combat. I mean, some people have names and some people are just Federation ship and Uranus ship, but I have had quite a few spats with people I think were real. So what we're doing here is we're jumping over here to get that second weapon. And then we're going to go back to one of the, I guess you call them combat zones. It's where NPCs are involved with a battle. You pick a side. In this case, we're going to pick Erenin. I guess those are the people. And we're going to talk a little bit about what combat is like in Elite Dangerous. Now, like Star Citizen, there's a big physics model here. The ships are supposed to react like a real-life ship would in the same circumstances. In this situation, though, flying around at 20 times the speed of light, all the way down to, I guess, 0.3, 0.1, 0.01 the speed of light, there isn't enough time in our lives to accelerate and decelerate that fast. So I was kind of having a issue with this, and then somebody explained to me the way that warp drives work. The warp drive warps space around you, making the distance you have to travel shorter. The bigger the warp field, the shorter the distance you have to go. Now, in actuality, you may look like you're streaking through space at 20 times the speed of light, but your ship is probably only flying at 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 that of speed of light inside this warp field. It's kind of weird for me to gather, So I did a little bit of research on this, and there is a scientist from Yale, I forget his name, that actually is saying that we can create a warp field today and actually travel at or near or beyond the speed of light. Now, I don't know how true that is, but there were years and years and years and years and years that we did not think that we were going to be able to fly faster than the speed of sound. And there was this big barrier to flying faster than the speed of sound, and it was drag, and it was compressibility, and other aerodynamic, I took aerodynamics in college for a time, and other factors that were limiting you being able to fly that fast. But swept wings and laminar flow and all sorts of wonderful things that have happened in the aerodynamics have made flying faster than the speed of sound pretty much old news, like half a century old news. And now, as we're looking to make flying into space a regular thing for everyday people, especially with Boeing making a space taxi and, you know, SpaceX and all these other companies actually taking over for the government and going to space, there are advances happening in the field that make it look like sometime in the distant future we might actually be able to handle interstellar flight. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. So we talked about flying, and what I'm trying to do is, as I'm getting in here, okay, let's ask for landing. Alright, so as we're coming into Beagle 2, where I know they sell this weapon, I'm just trying to kill the time. Alright, so we talk a little bit about warp flight and how it's still a stretch. I still don't know if it's true, but I've read the article and it looks like they'll be able to do this. Alright, so let me just concentrate on getting through this tiny little slit. Okay, and we have to, oh wait, there's 4 all the way in the distance. I put my gun out. Oh shit. Alright. I might as well put my weapon away. Whatever. Maybe we'll scare somebody. You can see the gimbaling of that. Well, you can see the gimbaling. It went up and it went down, and it just makes it a lot easier to track targets. So when you're on somebody, you don't really have to keep your nose right dead on. My guess is the pulse lasers that are on gimbal mounts, and I didn't check this yet, I'm just trying to get used to this game, are probably less powerful than the ones that are not on gimbal mount. Oh my god, I'm busting my ship up just trying to talk to y'all. Yeah, look at that. Took some damage. Alright, so let's set her down. I love the controls. I love how well mapped they are. Oh boy. I really don't like this ship today. Alright, so we have to go to Starport Services. And then we have to go and get our weapon. Sorry, I got distracted there for a second. So here we are going into outfitting, and you see our 1 gimbaled pulse laser there. We're going to go over to 2. We're going to buy and spend a boatload of money on this second gimbal mount. There we go. Now we have 2. And the ship is not that pretty. It's really beat up. Sidewinder. It's the first ship you get. I'm just going through here to see if there's anything else. I think that we have to go other places to get these other pieces. Obviously, having a auto-firing cannon on the rear end might be a good thing. Railguns, holy cow. But I think that back here you would have heat sinks and you would have better alloy and things to make your ship be able to take more damage. These ships just are not pretty in this game. Alright, this is just telling me that the laser cannon I just bought, the pulse laser, is not assigned to any group. We'll fix that as we get out of here. So let's just launch and get out of here and go to Erinin and have some fun shooting things up. Alright, let's let's go over to navigation. Let's go over to Ernan. And there we go. We're all set. Let's pop our butts off of this platform. Get it up. Come on. I love the way this ship handles inside. And let's bring up our landing gear and bolt. Alright, so as I'm making my way towards the tiny little slit, hopefully I don't crash. We're going to look over here at our fire groups. There you go. And we just assigned our pulse laser to our first fire group. We could have had it on the second one. Don't really want that to happen right now, though. So, busting out of the hangar, and we're going to warp as quickly as we can, or jump, or whatever you want to call it in this game. Alright, point ourselves to Ernan. Not that far of a jump, only 4.46. With the next beta, they're going to have fuel in the game. Like, jumping these distances are going to matter. I don't know how many more star systems they're adding. I've seen a lot of cool things that are going on with the game. Right now, a lot of the graphics are static. Like, the planets aren't as big as they're going to be in the full game. The stars have a very unrealistic, very bland look to them. I don't find that to be true. Whenever I see the star, I think it's pretty cool. But the stars are going to be able to eject coronal masses and have solar flares and other things like that in the future, from what I saw in a sneak peek that they had. So we're jumping. Let's get into our jump tunnel. I have to pay attention here so I don't fly into the star at the other end. So when you're looking at this game, what I find most intriguing is pretty... You know, the Milky Way is mapped. You can fly to every star in the Milky Way if you could live that long. Here we are. See what I mean? Those stars look pretty. Alright, we gotta get away from it real quick. Let's go over and let's find the closest one of the... not that one. Sorry guys. I need to keep looking up here. High intensity. There we go. Alright, now let's point ourselves over towards it. And let's just speed up. Now, watch the acceleration here. We just went from 0.4 c up to 15 times the speed of light. 17 times the speed of light in like an instant. 18 times. And let's see if we can do 20. Can we do 20? No, we're slowing down. The acceleration that you would feel doing that would be nuts. You would be soup. I mean, the molecules, the atoms in your body would rip apart at that speed. So that's why I was talking a little bit about the warp drive systems and how they theoretically work in this fantasy universe. So we're gonna get as close as we can. And let's see if we can get there without some idiot trying to take us out. Don't you like how I make it sound like I'm playing the game right now instead of doing post commentary? Yes, folks, I'm sorry. I don't mean to pull the wool over your eyes. This is post commentary. Obviously, I've already played through this. I told you in the beginning. So we're getting close, and any second now we are going to be pulled out of... Well, not any second. It's like we're almost there and we get pulled out of our frame shift. That's what they call this. Alrighty. So we're getting closer. And it's just about somewhere between 1200 and 1000. There we go. That we pop out. Let's see if I'm right. 1200. Ooh, it was actually under. And now look to the right. And on the right, you're going to see ship status clean, and you can see some things over there. And I want to see, in post-commentary, exactly when... Oh, there! I went into silent running. I did not hit a switch to go into silent running. Now, let's see what happened. Now, in silent running, do you notice I have no shields? So right now, I'm giving my hull to this guy who's, no problem, going to chew it up. My pulse lasers are going to overheat, but you can see how they're tracking the target, taking him down, and they're building up a lot of heat. See? And there I go, getting beat up. And at some point I realized, oh my lord, I'm in silent running. This isn't good. Let's fix this. So I look over and say, alright, why am I not able to shoot? I'm giving power to weapons and stuff. Am I going to blow up? And then I see the alert. And I'm using my power. See? You can see little bits and pieces of my ship starting to explode now. Oop, and there I go. I pulled it out of silent running. What the hell was I thinking? I didn't hit a switch on the keyboard. I hit only the buttons on the joystick, I know. Something has to be up with either the joystick itself. This guy's just picking me apart, right? So I'm doing everything I can to keep him from firing at me. Look at this, he has me down to 56%. And then I put as much power to my systems as I can, and bang, there I go, I have it. Now I'm going to throw power into my weapons. There we go, and we're going to take him out. Now you notice, in this game, the faster you go, the slower you turn. And that's the way it would be in real life. There's absolutely no way you would be able to turn at the speed you're flying at without destroying every bone, every muscle, every part of your body. Alright, let's roll over and see what we can do here. So look at the throttle, down to 27. Alright, we got him back in our sights. We're chewing him down. We got him down to 50, 40, 30, 31, 27, 29. Ooh, he's in a Sidewinder also. But he hurt us bad. Really bad. So combat in this game isn't much different than what you are seeing inside of Star Citizen's Arena Commander. Obviously the fidelity of that game is a lot higher. But look at this. I actually got money for killing this dude. So now we're going to go over to the high intensity combat zone, which I probably shouldn't have done. Oh look, and my loading scoop is down too, which I have no idea why my cargo scoop is down. Again, a second thing that's going on with my X55. I have no idea why. Alright, so we're headed off to the conflict zone, and we'll talk about the conflict zone a little bit when we get there. We only have 762 meters to go, so, you know, kilometers, so it shouldn't be that far. And we essentially could just hit C right now to come out of frame shift. Hit the C. Okay, good. So now we're coming out of frame shift, and we're going to be in the combat area. So the first thing that you do when you go into a combat area is you look to your right. The console, I forget what the keyboard number is. It's either 1, 2, or 3. I use my hat on my X55. And you go over to here and you choose a faction. I pick Erinin. And all of a sudden you have a bunch of targets that you could start firing at. It took me a second. I was playing Star Citizen for a while to find the targeting button on my throttle. I eventually find it. Look, there I go. Looking for the different ships that I could actually go and shoot down. Trying to get an eagle over here. And let's go and take one of these dudes out. There's the eagle. Let's see if we can get him. Open it up. There we go. Definitely. Oh, that was awesome. 500 credits. Now that was a very simple and easy victory for us. It gets a lot harder. So as you see, combat against NPCs is rather simple. This combat exercise was futile. I tracked this anaconda for like 30 kilometers for no reason. And eventually he just pulls out. So let's skip ahead and show what happens when I screw up, okay? So in this next sequence, I'm going to get back into the fray and I'm going to try my best to not die, okay? If you look, I still have 56% hull, you know, I'm damaged. I don't know if they're going to be nanobots, repair bots, or anything like that in the game yet. I will find that out over time for you. I'm headed out over here. trying to get back because I found myself like 30-something kilometers away. And you can see the pulse lasers and the beam lasers going off in the distance. A ship off to our left is a mega ship. It's a dreadnought. It's tremendous. Huge. I mean, you fly along the side of it. It's big for this game. So we are trying to get this. I guess it's a Sidewinder, or maybe it's a Cobra Mark III. And we're going to go after him. Just so you know, when you take part in these combat areas, you do not lose any faction with anybody for shooting these things. This is just an area to make money and have fun in combat. And here we go, shooting down this eagle now. Let's go get him. And of course, I've got as much power to my weapons as I can muster. Ooh. We got him, but somebody else got credit for him. So that was a waste of precious energy. Let's go see if we can get this dude. I think this is a Cobra Mark III. Or maybe it's just some kind of fighter ship that doesn't have a name. Alright, so we're getting hits on this guy. You can see from the distance we're at. We're still tracking. Watch the pulse lasers come down a little bit. And let's see if we get any kind of a bounty on this dude. Ooh, we did. 500 credits. But he took shields down a little bit over here. Let's see who we got next. Alright, we have an Anaconda. Anaconda, big ship, kind of like a Corvette. I wouldn't call it a frigate, it's not that big. It definitely could hold its own. And it's hard to take down. He's a good 3,500 kilometers away. We're not going to be able to do anything to him. Let's go play with this eagle over here, see what he'll do. He's all by himself, right? Nobody jumping on him. Shouldn't be too hard. The eagle is a much better fighter than the Sidewinder, which is what I'm in. Better weapons, faster, more maneuverable, definitely no problem. Oh, where did he go? Oh, that's right. I lost sight of him for a few seconds, and now I'm going in for him. There he is. So he's a federal security fighter. He's clean. We're in a war zone. I do not believe that he's somebody else, so I should be able to take him out pretty easy. I mean, after all, he's an NPC, right? Alright. Let's get in closer. Oh, good. Taking down those shields. And 80, 79, 77, 76. Not so bad. Oh, where'd he go? Alright, so what he did is he's a much faster ship than we are. You see the smoke trail? He hit his afterburner. And now, like an idiot, I'm going head-on with an Eagle, which has many, many, many more weapons. Much higher quality weapons. And look at him. He just totally destroyed me. Oh my god, my shields were offline. 25, 21, 19, 13, 4, up. And this is it. Boom. So that is my combat exercise for the day. We had 2 wins, 1 loss, 2 kills, 1 death. I guess batting 66% is good. Alright everybody, y'all be safe out there. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.